A dying grandfather gives his grandson his most precious gift of all, the right to a farm he lived on centuries ago. Years go past, and as the boy's life gets harder, he gets more and more depressed. Eventually, as a middle-aged man, he snaps, taking his long-deceased grandfather's letter and heading for the country. He is not in a good state of mind. He is depressed and all he wants to do now is leave and never come back. The bus rolls on slowly, rumbling quietly. Up ahead, the man spots a turn in the road. He thinks nothing of it, not until the bus driver's head, fatigued from the journey, hits the steering wheel with a small bump. A huge crash is heard as the bus spins wildly and cascades down the cliffside, eventually coming to a stop, tangled in tree branches. He is the only survivor, surrounded by entangled, maimed bodies of the unrecognizable deceased. But he is not conscious of this, far from it in fact. Hours later, as he is brought into the ambulance, his subconscious mind is slowly riding to Stardew Valley, the bus riding on slowly, rumbling quietly. The ambulance arrives at the hospital. Some grave-looking men pick up the stretcher containing the man and walk towards the entrance. The man is wheeled through the labyrinth-like corridors of the hospital. The longer they walk, the darker the tunnel feels. Eventually, he is brought into a huge dark room with a single bed and a hanging light in the middle. He is put carefully onto the bed, and a small sign is attached to the side. It reads, "Permanent Coma." It's a sunny day. The man is met at the bus stop by two grinning individuals by the names of Robin and Lewis. To the man, everything seems normal. The next morning, he wakes up bright and early to plant his seeds and head into town to chat with some villagers. He is still unaware of his situation, but there comes a time. The man was accepted within the community at this point. He lived a happy, married, content life. But there were some things bothering him. When making the world the man lived in now, his subconscious had made one fatal mistake. His entire world revolves around him. No one ever leaves, no one ever ages. Nothing ever changes, except if he changed them. He refurbished the community center by himself. No one ever helped. It's been too long. As the man lives on in his make-believe world, his subconscious dwells. It is bored. It wants things to do. At some point in time, it snaps and dies. In the process of dying, it creates more and more unbelievable things, like a store in the middle of the desert where the man is the only customer. Things like a sword that heals the man when taking the lives of shadow beings deep in the earth. Its final breath taken, the subconscious creates straight-up magic, an event that has no scientific explanation. A magical rod that brings you home with a wave, and mysterious pillars to the sky that teleport you wherever they please. With his subconscious dead, the man also dies, alone in his bed 3 years after the accident. He is not realized dead until another 3 years pass. A lost patient finds his skeletal corpse scattered on the bed. But the man's spirit lives on in Stardew Valley, day after day after day.